happy Comic-Con week as we are going through Sandiego. I have to deliver this. Good thing about a convertible is that you can experience where I'm going and transporting this tree trimmer to my mom's. So yeah, okay, I wanted to let you know that I was a Comic-Con panelist, since we're talking about Comic-Con this week, sorry. I was a Comic-Con panelist with the school districts, and every year from 2000 and I believe it was 2013 that I first started the Comic-Con panels. That was when I published my books, and it was just so amazing because so basically I had panels with the principal of the school, or I would not have included the principals, but just the students and I would have panels about digital media and how children and STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, were heavily influenced and created their own cartoons through digital media. So I thought that was really brilliant because you got the students to have an introduction to the industry of comics, comic books, the comic industry, cartooning, graphic design, illustration, whatever media artists use in Comic-Con International. So this is sort of like a continuation of a panel in my car, a Comic-Con panel in my car. Hey! So, solo interpretation, if you might ask, or not. Nobody asked. So, anyways, we would have panels, and the kids were able to, talk about how they created their digital media arts, and it was very interesting because they would literally start from the very beginning, like the beginning of school. Like, say right now, it's the first day of school, and I would have my digital media class, and throughout the whole year, I would basically determine who was the best in my class. They had to have an A, and I would handpick certain students from different schools to be invited to Comic-Con International. And I would have to apply, I forget, it was January, and they would determine if they accepted your panel for Comic-Con. And what happened was I basically got accepted for 6 years as a panelist for Comic-Con International, and I would handpick certain students and maybe the principal or a guest speaker in the industry to talk about digital media arts and education in STEAM. And so I do this for 6 years until the pandemic happened, and I basically had to stop because also during that time my dad had health illness, and I had to stop and help family first, right? We always talk about that. Aren't you enjoying my ride? This is a great panel. So if you want to ask any questions on how I did this and how I felt as a artist in Comic-Con, as a educator, as a panelist for 6 years, how it felt, go ahead, ask any questions in the comment below, and I will answer on the next upload. And I'm gonna be having a whole week of Comic-Con subjects and topics for you guys this week, since I haven't been to Comic-Con in, oh gosh, when's the last time? Yeah, since the pandemic happened. So that's how long it's been since and so now I I am slowly going to go back into the district and hopefully resume some after-school classes. I wanted to do online classes and then do that, but I feel like one-on-one in person, meeting the students and having them learn again. It's been a while since I've had my program in the schools. I don't know. It could be students from my online classes. Who knows? And virtually it's doable, but I would have to get, some students and their parents to sign them up and have virtual classes, one-on-one or group. It depends. It could be live classes and it could be pre-recorded classes. And then the ones that are really doing really well, I will probably sign up for another Comic-Con panel and see if I can get accepted or not. I hope I can. And next year we'll be faced with going to Comic-Con 2026. So I feel that starting off really early in elementary school is a prime example of how you can turn your student who is an artist and create digital versions of these arts and create animations or stills or transform them into products that could be sold online or in person, sort of like marketplaces and farmers markets and things. It is a lucrative deal. This is obviously some people's their bread and butter. They sell at these markets and they make quite a bit of money. Sometimes I've heard 6 figures. So, but they do themed artwork from other artists in the mainstream, like a lot of anime, a lot of Snoopy, a lot of K-pop art, a lot of old school artwork that's from the 80s and things like that. They turn Disney art into their own art. I don't know if you can do that legally. I think you could sell them, like not mass produce them and sell them. I'm not sure 100% how that works in terms of artwork that is themed after mainstream Disney arts. You know what I mean? Especially like Ghibli Studio artwork and Disney and Snoopy and all of that. I don't know how they do that. So I guess you have to get a licensing agreement approved. I'm not sure, but I'll have to look into that because I see a lot of themed anime art in the markets, which is very interesting. It looks almost exactly like the artwork, and I've heard from graphic printers that if you tweak it just one line or two, they could simply remake like Hello Kitty and sell it as their own. Is that true? That's kind of scary for my artwork, but I've seen many versions of artwork in pandas and Hello Kitty and all kinds of animals, and it's so cute. I totally am fangirling of some artists out there that I see, and I'm like, wow, they're so brilliantly good. It's like sometimes it's even better than the real art itself. Sometimes it's themed after a certain mood, like real sinister artwork than the real villains of Disney, more sinister, even a little more adult related. So there's a draw the line though for me. I really love classic I really love classical Alice in Wonderland. I love the hand drawing kind. I don't know if you agree with me. I love the animated movie. It's so cute. What brings it together is the voice voiceovers, like the days in the 1940s and 50s when they had this certain voice. It almost sounds like Snow White version, you know, her voice back in the days of the animated film. It just brought it all together, and I don't think you can get that anymore. It's just the tone. It's that genre, that era, that, I guess, the baby boomer era, you know, their voice was so different back in, wholesome and just innocent, you know. I miss that. I really do. And I could simply do it also. I could transform my voice into something like that, but I really have to rehearse and try. Oh my God, this person is in the wrong lane and blocking my lane. Come on. Okay, I'm going to be patient. LOL. So, this is my Comic-Con version on the road, in the car, Comic-Con panel car mode. Yes! I think I'm doing something new. I don't know, maybe original, unique. So, maybe you can look that up. Comic-Con panel car mode. From a real Comic-Con panelist, Dr. Zhivago. Anyways, if you go to Comic-Con International, please visit Artist Alley. They spend so much money to be there, and some of them hand create their artwork. They make it themselves, handmade. Okay, these people have original artwork from their own unique idea, some of them, and they make stickers, they make bags, they make all kinds of gadgets, everything you can imagine at Artist Alley. They even have original artwork there. Now imagine if you meet an Artist Alley, a booth, and the artist themselves is sitting in that booth, and you buy one of their prints, and then they become mainstream. You just bought yourself, like, how much does it cost? From $5 to $20, maybe $30 for original print, and then that person becomes mainstream. You got yourself an original art piece that, my goodness, is worth something for sure. Now, have you ever heard of NFTs? Those are the cryptocurrency art that artists make. Well, some of those artists are enabling those NFTs, and is it NFTs? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yes. And they create artwork that is unique for the cryptocurrency. And I used to have one called Dr. Zhivago Ethereum. It was just the name, and I had to buy it, and then I had a mark. I had a certain number associated with that, and it was worth, I don't even know how much. It was worth as much as I bought it. And you can upload your artwork and create NFTs with your artwork and sell it, and then what if that artist becomes mainstream? You just got yourself a great NFT that's worth something. But anyways, I'm here delivering the saw to Mom, and I will see you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like drzhivago.us or drzhivagoglobal.com. I'll see you later. See you soon. Stay tuned for the next Comic-Con panel car mode from Dr. Zhivago.